Hey everyone, welcome back to the Speaking Out Loud channel. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic 4th of July. I hope everything is going well and awesome for you. So today I want to talk to you guys how to keep yourself safe from exploitation. I think it's a very important topic, so let's just dive right into it. So there's many different forms of exploitation. I think with the tips that I came up with, it can help you from all forms of exploitation. It particularly happens in a sexual nature. And this pertains to everybody, especially boys, because a lot of boys are being sexually exploited, and that's called sextortion. And so I wanted to give you guys these top 5 tips to help keep you safe in any type of form of exploitation. And it's the 4th of July, so we should be celebrating freedom, right? So we should all be so happy with the rights and the freedoms that we have here in America, and I'm so excited for the 4th of July. I hope you guys are too. And if you guys are noticing that I'm gonna be wearing the same outfit, I look the same in future videos. I'm recording a lot of videos right now and most likely in the future because I'm gonna be heading down to Cali for a while. I don't know if I'll be able to film down there, so I'm trying to make 3 weeks worth of content for you guys. And if you want to be caught up with my life, follow me on TikTok. It's essentially the same of what you're seeing on the YouTube shorts. I like to keep it real with you guys because I like to share the same exact things, and there's a couple videos where I'm a little bit off topic on what I normally talk about, but it's okay because it still involves me and it's still what I want my message to be out there for. And if you haven't watched my latest short and my latest TikTok video, for the TikTok it's called the Speaking Out Loud channel, the same as it is here. I got this chain from Operation Underground Rescue from a woman that is a survivor of human trafficking, and I am so happy. It symbolizes breaking the chain. I am so excited because I wanted another golden chain, kind of like a choker. I bet I can make it like a choker. I tightened up a little bit more, but it's gonna be like this for now. So as I said, we're gonna dive right into it officially now. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So the number 1 tip that I have for you guys is to know your worth and your rights. It is so important that you are steady in your own worth as a human being and that you don't rely on someone else to validate your worth. And I know that's really hard, especially when you're younger and as a teenager, and there's a lot of hormones and it's just a lot of feelings. I experienced that as well. I'm 20, so I'm officially out of my teen phase. I don't really think so. I still feel the same as a 19-year-old. It's really complicated, and I always wanted some form of male validation, but I wasn't desperate, you know? And it's okay. Like, we have a lot of experiences and differing experiences on wanting to feel loved. That's what I notice most with people being exploited, that they truly want to be loved. And I truly believe Diana's quote that the biggest disease in this world is people believing that they're not loved. Full-heartedly, full stop, completely agree with that. And that's why a lot of our kids are being exploited, is because they want to be loved, and parents and their figures around them, their adult figures, aren't letting them feel loved. So they're looking elsewhere, they're looking outward to anyone that would say, I love you. And that is heartbreaking. And I want you to know that if someone tells you, I love you, but if someone says, if you loved me, you'd blink. Why don't you love me? If I will believe that you love me back if you do this. If you send a picture of yourself. I don't really fully believe that you're as committed as me. Let me see a picture. Send me some money. That's a major red flag. You should walk out. You should leave. It's for the best. It's for your safety. Just leave. You don't need what they're going to give you, and it's gonna give you a lifetime of trauma. I full-heartedly believe that there's nothing good that's going to come out of that relationship, and I fully believe that there is other guys, that there's other girls, and there's other people out there that will love you for you, and they are not looking to exploit you in any manner, in any way. And The second tip that I have for you guys is to be smart about what you share online and what you look at online. So as we know, the algorithms like to feed you stuff based on what you think that you would want, like what they think what you would want out of their app. Especially when you're brand new to social media, they're just feeding you everything constantly to see what you like and what you don't like. So if they know your age, they're gonna give you videos and posts about what they think your age would like, because that's what they notice is popular amongst their other users, right? Which it's smart, but also every person has unique interests and unique niches. Like, you're watching this is a unique niche. You won't really find anyone else posting about this unless they're a documentary, unless they're law enforcement. You won't really find anyone else talking about human trafficking on YouTube. I'm just a girl with a microphone at this point, and I do have a microphone. So you have to be really smart about what you share online, because it can be saved, it can be copied, it can be shared, and that is so true. I have started to post, I'm starting to be someone online. Slowly I'm starting to be there. And when I look through my TikToks and when I look through YouTube, which I'm so excited because I've reached 1,000 freaking views. I am so happy that I reached 1,000 views. That is insane. That is wild. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll celebrate tonight. I don't know. And you really do have to be careful about what you share online, because as I've noticed, people save it to their personal accounts. And I never thought someone would save my videos, and then when I started to notice that people are starting to save my videos, I'm like, oh frick. Oh no. But I'm not like saying anything bad, but it just like someone thought it was worth saving on their phone. So if you post anything and it's not private, even if it's private, someone can do a screenshot and they can share amongst other people that don't have that access to your account. So that's why you have to be very careful about who you let as friends. And I can full-heartedly believe, unless you're wanting to be an influencer, which I would not recommend until you're at least 18 years old. I don't like seeing little kids posting on the internet, because a lot of those videos are saved. Very sketchy. Very sketchy. I full-heartedly believe that your account should be private. I know that's not a common thing amongst the Gen Z. They don't like their accounts being private. A lot of my friends, they don't have their accounts private, so you really don't know who's liking it. Yeah, you can click on it, but then people screenshot, and as we know, as we talked about, AI creating nude pictures of someone and sending it, and it looks completely real, and these kids are killing themselves over it. They're unaliving themselves for this. It's very crucial about the social media fingerprint that you leave behind. With NCMEC, they released fully their studies on 2024 and the reports that they have. I have a physical copy of this. Yes, this is for a school assignment, but I have a physical copy because I am genuinely interested in this, and what I'm learning I can make into videos to inform other people. So I make myself learn this. I make myself memorize this, and I write tons of papers based on sextortion, based on human trafficking. You would be surprised in the span of almost 2 years of me being here in a university how many papers I've wrote about human trafficking and sextortion. I've wrote a lot. I bet all my classmates and all my professors are sick and tired of that Melanie Tree girl, because she just keeps on talking about human trafficking and sextortion. Guilty as charged. But within having this physical document, it's easier for me to show you guys their studies. And they did a study with a small pool of 470 kids that they helped find at NCMEC. And within these 476 kids that they studied, they have found that Snapchat is where you're most likely to be trafficked. They're most likely to be sextorted. And I've been doing some exploring on my personal Snapchat, because I am curious about how all of this goes down, because I have a vague concept of Snapchat because I'm not active on Snapchat. I don't like Snapchat and I hate it. And you would be surprised by how fast it goes. So on my personal Snapchat, I've been friending random people that I have no idea. They sent me a friend request and I accepted it, and then shortly after they send me a snap, which is a picture, and it just happens like that. And people communicate, and other people, they don't communicate. They don't like texting So within Snapchat, if you don't know, there's like a little bar and you can put text on your picture that you took of yourself, and that's how people communicate. And there's also a chat feature, but you're more likely to send pictures of yourself and having that chat on the picture that you have of yourself. And the whole concept of Snapchat is that your conversations disappear after 24 hours, which is false. It is very false. Nothing disappears. Not really. And even if it disappears within 24 hours, it's still there. It is still there, guys. It is still there. And the tip within this, besides being smart about what you share online, is if someone keeps on asking you do things or makes you feel bad for saying no, that is not flirting. That is manipulation. That is manipulation at its finest, and I know a whole lot about manipulation because I used to be a severe people pleaser, and there hasn't been a lot of good. Yes, there's a lot of good people in my life, but there's a vast pool in my life that made me into this chronic people pleaser and feeling bad for saying no. So I know it's hard for us people pleasers saying no and always feeling guilty about saying no, but it's okay because it's for your safety, and your safety is #1 priority. So for all of you people that are curious, and all of you parents, as you should be curious, they have found that Snapchat is the #1 place for sextortion and human trafficking. Instagram is the second. Facebook is the third, which in Facebook it's usually out of country. Discord is the fourth, and TikTok is the fifth. With people, they want to be these influencers. So of course I have literally no control of who likes me and who watches my videos, and there's tons and tons and tons and tons of views on my videos. And it's very hard because if you're a kid and you want to be like this, and I have had 3 people privately message me and I haven't responded, but it's very easy for people to just message you. Very easy for people to message you and pretend that they have your best interest at heart. In reality, they do not have your best interest at heart. So #3 is trust your gut and speak up. And that's the hard thing about survivors, is that it's very hard for them to speak up, especially in this day and age where it's very hard to have people believe in you, especially with people that online and they feign that something bad happened to them, when in all reality, nothing happened to them. And it makes it hard for actual survivors to be believed because of these people. And it's really disheartening. And especially with human trafficking survivors and sextortion, there's a lot of shame, and there's a lot of people that don't fully know, and they're like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you say this? And there's a lot of nitpicking, so it makes it very hard for survivors to speak up. I have been listening to a lot of experts. I'm just someone that's relaying the experts' info to you, and from when I'm listening to these experts, I love Laura Richards. She worked with the FBI, and she works at Scotland Yard, and she built Paladin, and she built this chart for women that are suffering from domestic abuse to see further cement that they are being abused and how much of a risk they are to be killed, to be murdered. And you should always trust your gut. If something is telling you inside your gut, inside your body, inside your mind that this is off, that this feels weird, trust it, because a lot of survivors, they wish they trusted their gut, but they didn't want to hurt someone's feelings. They didn't want to make someone feel uncomfortable. They just didn't want to go through that. And as a people pleaser, I completely agree with, and I put myself in a lot of particularly unsafe situations because I wanted others to feel comfortable and not myself. And this is not to shame survivors. This is giving information to people so they won't be survivors of a horrific crime. This is what they want others to know about so they can take their abuse and help someone else with it so they don't have to go through the terrible thing of abuse. And #4 is watch out for your friends too. So a lot of people, a lot of Gen Z and eventually Gen Alpha, or already Gen Alpha, are being abused and sextorted, and you want to watch out for your friends. You really do want to watch out for your friends. So if you're noticing your friend is being groomed or manipulated, because sometimes survivors don't realize it themselves because they're already wrapped up in the manipulation. So it usually takes an observer to realize that something is going going on, and they're like, hold on, something's not right. Let's look at this a little bit further. If you notice there's changes, like they're pulling away, they're not spending often like an amount of time that they usually do with you, if they're getting gifts from strangers, if their entire outfit wardrobe is changing, if they're hiding conversations, if they're acting strange, if they're being more depressed, if they're checking out a lot, check in on them. Please check in on them. Maybe it may just be their mental health, or maybe they're being groomed. You can just say, hey, I'm genuinely not trying to be nosy. I care about you. Have a lot of emphasis that I care about you. Are you okay? Is there something going on? How can I help? And just ask them a question. It goes a really, really long way, and it further cements on the victim, on the survivor, that yeah, something isn't right. My friends are noticing. My family is noticing. There's changes. And I know oftentimes we don't want people to notice, and other times we really do, but we don't want to say something. We want someone to notice that something is changing in us, and we want someone to care enough to ask. So please watch out for your friends. Please watch out for your friends, watch out for your family members, because if you're noticing something, I highly recommend that you reach out. Nothing bad is going to happen, I hope, because I think they will be genuinely touched that you reached out to them, that you cared enough to send that text message, to make that call. It means the world. And for the fifth tip that I have for you guys is, hey, know where you can get help, and know that it's never your fault. It's the creeper's fault. It's never yours. They took advantage of you. They are such horrid creatures that I wish there's higher sentencing for them, but unfortunately it's not coming yet. So please know where you can get help. I will have the National Human Trafficking Hotline down below, and you can even text. You can look at your local family crisis center. You can look them up. Just say, look, family crisis center near me. And there's a lot of advocates. There's 24/7 advocates all the time. You can send a text. You can send an email. You can call them. And there's a lot of features. They're so awesome. I highly recommend that you check them out. Even if you're not a survivor, and if you're not a current victim, just as someone that wants to help out, find your local family crisis center. They always love volunteers. If you're experiencing sextortion, I highly recommend that you look at Thorn, or you look specifically at NCMEC, the National Child for Missing and Exploited Children. I am familiar with NCMEC the most, and you can look back at my What is Sextortion video, and I go over how they scrub clean these pictures and how it's completely anonymous, and the tips that I have for people that are currently going through it. And I'll give these tips again, of course, and these tips are, okay, first, you want to take screenshots. You don't want to cave into their demands, because they don't do it. It's just a threat. Please don't harm yourself. Take pictures, screenshots of it all. Block them. Tell your trusted adult, or if you're not ready for that step yet, call, email the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, all anonymously. Upload those photos. You don't need to call or text them to upload your photos anonymously. And when you are at a stage, you already have the screenshots, you already show that you took initiative at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And even if you haven't, there are people that are out there that genuinely want to help you. They genuinely care about you, and they want this creepo to be charged for the crimes that they've done for you. And you can look them up, and you'll be like, okay, this happened to me. You can go to your lawyer, you can go to the police department with the trusted adult and be like, this happened to me, what are we gonna do about it now? And you can do that. There are survivors that speak up after years, and since you already have those screenshots, you have physical evidence, and it'll make your story more credible. The biggest reminder that I have for you guys is that you're not alone. There are people out there that love you and want to take care of you, and especially me. I love you guys, and I love being able to create these videos for you, and I love the views. I am so happy with the 1,000 views. That is insane. I've only been posting for a couple weeks and I already have 1,000 views. That is absolutely amazing. and I'm so blessed to have you guys here. I'm so blessed that I am able to just put up my phone and start talking, and people are actually willing to listen to it, willing to listen to my rants, and they're curious on how to protect themselves and others. I hope you guys are having an amazing 4th of July and that you're gonna enjoy the fireworks, and please take care of yourself if you have severe PTSD, and you can go somewhere that will help you. I know the 4th of July, loud noises don't help a lot of survivors of practically any form of abuse, any form of war. So I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and there are places that you can go to. I may not be a huge expert, but I bet if you look it up, there's gonna be resources around you and that you can go to, or your family resources. It's amazing, and I hope none of your guys' dogs or animals run away. That always seems to happen with every single 4th of July. Animals are scared, so please go to your PetSmart or your Target and get like the melatonin good gummies for your dogs. We've tried it, never had any issues once we started doing that. The dogs, they just sleep through most of it. Please don't come after me if you're like an animal activist, because a lot of them say veterinarian approved and it helps, and our dogs don't run away afterwards. So please don't come after me. I don't want a world war happening because I gave someone a tip on how to prevent their animals from running away. So I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I highly encourage looking at Nick Mick's post for 2024 and their PDF on sextortion. It's all the way down below when you click on any divided tab on any subject, and they have a PDF that you can download and look at and print out. Awesome. Absolutely love them. Highly recommend that you check them out. But anyways, have an awesome day. Have an amazing 4th of July.